Hello and welcome to the number one fake history podcast on the internet, The Lore Boys. My name is James Miller. Who else is here?
I'm James Miller. Hi.
What?
And it's Dr. James Miller, medical professional.
Okay, good. Very good. So I haven't told you guys what we're doing. I kind of leaked it a little bit to Ethan yesterday, but
It's a filthy little topic, I believe.
yes, a tricksy little topic because we're going to be talking about the Lord of the Rings. Most of us are familiar with the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but what happened after the One Ring was tossed back into the fires of Mount Doom? What happens after?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Nothing probably.
Yeah.
Now it comes to the Lore Boys.
Yeah.
Everything was good. Middle Earth turned into England, and then they elected Margaret Thatcher. The rest is history.
Yeah. So
Good history.
We've covered a lot of stuff that happened in the First Age, the Second Age, even the Third Age, but we have never gone into the Fourth Age. So I'm going to cover just the end of the Third Age, post-Ring, and then into some stuff that happens in the Fourth Age.
That's interesting. It's funny. I've never even considered any of that existing. It's just like a happy ending, and then history ceased to continue. It just stopped.
Why not, huh? Why do you gotta take that away from us, Jamie, and let us know that there's still bad things in the world, huh?
Sam Gamgee's grandson is working at a 7-Eleven. Just like, wow, really crazy how this went.
So there will be something coming out about one of Sam Gamgee's or Sam Gardner's. We'll explain how that happens later. One of his daughters
anglicized his name when they came to New York City, so they didn't know they were hobbits.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys heard, but Stephen Colbert is writing a Lord of the Rings Shadow of the Past as the current working title movie.
Cool. Yes, I had heard that. Stephen Colbert is a very I think late night shows are kind of cringe, but he is like a genuinely intelligent, like really well-read guy, which we all should have known from the Colbert Report, like satire.
Yeah, I
like
used,
that.
I used to watch the Colbert Report every day after school.
Yeah.
I watched the Colbert Report.
But he's like a huge Tolkien guy. He knows everything, and also is like a huge like Catholic and Irish literature guy, which is really cool. Like when they're talking about like instead of doing like St. Patrick's Day bit, he'll always bust out like Ulysses or something like that.
Yeah. No, him, and he's doing it with his son as well, and Philippa Boyens and Peter McGee. It's going to be produced by Peter Jackson's New Zealand-based Wingnut Films, so that's a good sign. In association with Stephen Colbert's production company, Spartina. It's going to be set 14 years after the passing of Frodo.
I don't know if I realized it was a sequel.
It is a sequel.
And yeah, he dies? Doesn't he go to the Undying Lands?
Yeah.
It's kind of doesn't do what it says on the tin, I guess, huh?
Everyone who's not an elf still dies, even in the Undying Lands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
That's funny. I've never looked into that. I wish there was a lore podcast about the Undying Lands we could listen to explain this to me.
Tragic.
We're going to touch on a lot of folks who take the trip to the Undying Lands today. And like by the end, the very last person who gets there is going to be Gimli and Legolas. And Gimli's going to be the only dwarf to have ever gone. And Frodo will already have been dead by the time Gimli gets there.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah. But before that, like we're talking about Shadow of the Past, which is a movie that might come out. I have a quote from Stephen Colbert. So Sam, Merry, and Pippin set out to retrace the first steps of their adventure. Meanwhile, Sam's daughter, Eleanor, has discovered a long-buried secret and is determined to uncover why the War of the Ring was very nearly lost before it even began. So he read the first 6 chapters of the Fellowship over and over again that were never included in the movie. And he wants to take those 6 chapters and make it use the content of that, but put it in the setting is past after the Lord of the Rings happens, and use some of that content, but change the characters and the time.
Okay, cool.
Gotcha.
I'm not a big fan of the Hobbit films, but I trust the people involved with this one, despite the fact it's a lot of the same people. Like Philippa Boyens and co-wrote, did a bunch of the screenplay with Peter Jackson on the first trilogy, and Stephen Colbert knows a lot and is like a huge fan. So I mean,
Well, I don't know. I think
they
we've learned
fumbled the
from
Hobbit. But...
I think we've learned from Star Wars that if you have an amazing original trilogy and then you do a pretty mediocre prequel trilogy, that the sequel trilogy is just destined to be good. I think
You're right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ethan, I trust Stephen Colbert. Okay.
I mean, I don't know that it's true. What I'm getting at is they better not make it a fucking trilogy. Is what I'm saying. It sounds like
Oh,
it's
yes.
6 chapters from the book. Let's make it a movie at most. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
That's the plan. Shadow of the Past.
Somehow
So
Sauron has returned.
it's
We're
basically
gonna get Tom Bombadil at least.
we should, yeah. It's basically the chapter.
Fourth Death Star in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
3 is company through Fog on the Barrow Downs. For those Tolkien heads, that's the series of chapters that he's going to focus on.
Okay.
And how can he make it fit into the larger story? And could we make it something completely faithful to the books while also being faithful to the movies? So he's going to do his best to thread that needle. Not easy to do with the Tolkien fandom. Did you guys know that there's another movie on the way for December 2027 in Lord of the Rings universe?
Quest for Gollum or something.
Hunt for Gollum, yeah.
What the fuck is that going to be about? That's going to be another trilogy where Aragorn's
Yeah.
a girl now, and there's a 5th Death Star. Actually,
It's
to
gonna,
really,
it's gonna be
to-
as good as the Gollum video game, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I have no faith. This is the first time hearing of this movie. It just based on title and vibes alone, I'm gonna say I have no faith in it being good.
No, thumbs down. Thumbs down for me.
Yep. Yeah, expect the worst, hope for the best is kind of where I'm at.
Sure.
I like The Rings of Power. Not super
Haven't seen
well
it,
received by everyone, but I really enjoyed it. And there's a lot of like cool moments that have never been shown like on television or movies. And
Yeah.
we got to see those through Rings of Power, and yeah, that was cool.
I
So
hope it's like a Blues Brothers style buddy cop movie with Aragorn, a now 65-year-old Viggo Mortensen, and then Gollum just like sitting there.
if there was a buddy cop movie, it would have to be not Aragorn. Yeah, Legolas and Gimli, right?
That would be great. Yes.
Yeah.
Because after spoilers, like later on, like everybody goes to do their own thing after the ring has been destroyed. Legolas and Gimli stick together.
Hell yeah.
And they go to like do a bunch of stuff together. And I feel like you could capture those moments. And since they're pretty like they're not heavily written upon, there's a lot of spaces in between that you could fill out. And they go all the way up north, they go all the way down south, they go all the way west, and Legolas and Gimli would be just too perfect.
Elves don't normally have beards, but because I know like who does Gimli ends up marrying, like Marigold or some shit like that?
I'm not sure. I didn't have that
Okay.
in my notes. If you know more about who he marries, though, I'm curious.
In the Fourth Age, Gimli and Legolas's messy divorce is like 2/3 of the episode.
Yeah, so to learn more about our hobbitses among other folks and like what the state of the world is going into the Fourth Age, so we can be super critical of Colbert when he puts out his movie. I put together
because we're the authority on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can tell from our YouTube comments that we really get these things right.
Yeah. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. It's a great work being put up there. Thanks to Jonno.
Mhm.
So, so there's 9 members of the Fellowship of the Ring. It mirrors the 9 Nazgul.
Never
Yeah.
put that together.
Brother, is there 9? There's not 9 after the end of the first book. Like, is Boromir one of the 9? Or was he a 10
so
that got
I'll just count
snuffed?
before we get to that point. Who are the 9? So in the Fellowship, let's name the hobbits first. You guys know the hobbits?
Frodo, Sam,
Jungo,
Mary,
Prapo, Glubbo,
Elfo.
Yeah.
Elfo.
Okay. Peter got them. Frodo, Sam, Merry, Pippin. What about the men? There's 2 men.
Well, I just said one of them was Boromir.
Francis would be the other one.
And the other one would be Francis, yeah. The Númenorian.
Francis.
Aragorn. Yeah.
The Númenorian king, Francis.
Yeah. Okay.
You got an elf and a dwarf. We talked about them, the buddy cops. Legolas and
Yeah.
Legolas and
I did.
Duncan, Idaho, and Legolas.
I'm a little slow today, but I was like desperately when you were talking about like their messy divorce. I was desperately trying to think of and you do what? You just toss me like that? We got there, Rich. I'm glad we came back around. But Legolas and Gimli.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's a wizard, Meyer, that goes with them.
Gandalf.
Gandalf.
Yep.
Mhm.
So that's all 9 of them. And those are the 9 that we'll talk about where they end up after all the business with the ring is done.
Mhm.
I don't know what I was thinking when I was writing. I wrote a break so fucking early. I have a lot more, but I guess I was just trying to break it up because now we're gonna we'll get to an actual break later. I'll just schedule it in.
3 minutes of riffing commercial, then just an entire episode of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So good beats evil, right? We get the ring
Finally.
all the way to Mount Doom, into the fire.
Wait, the hunt for Gollum. I know where he is. I just remembered how the fucking story ends.
He's burned alive in a volcano.
Yeah, he's fucking gas in the air at this point, man. Like,
I wonder when the hunt for Gollum is
it
going to
must be
take
earlier in
place.
the.
Because there's
I mean, can't be fourth age. That's what I'm
No.
getting at.
isn't there that's how Sauron finds out that the ring is in Hobbiton, right, or in the Shire, because they capture and
Baggins Shire.
torture. They capture and torture Gollum, and he
At least,
says
I mean,
Baggins.
at least in the movies, and I guess it's worth saying for the Tolkien heads, none of us have read Lord of the Rings, so
Yeah.
I got to Rivendell, so I definitely read that portion when I was 11 years old and don't remember.
I read the
yeah,
first
I read The
one.
Hobbit when I was like 10 or 11, something like that. So
Something cool that I learned recently is Tolkien did an edit on his own writing to make it work in The Hobbit, to make it work with the Lord of the Rings. And then, so like basically how Bilbo Baggins gets the ring in the first place, he
what's in your pocket? My hand.
Yeah, so that he uses that riddle, right? He actually like steals it, and he's more of a bad guy in the original version, and then they go back and make it like seem a lot better the way that he did it.
Oh,
And then
Oh, okay.
and then the way that Tolkien even wrote it into Lord of the Rings is that it was the way that Bilbo wrote himself, and that's why he made the edit. So like back in the 60s, he rewrote The Hobbit, and so you can find like early versions of The Hobbit
First edition,
before the rewrote. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean,
In
he
a
was
hole
a
there
thief,
lived
right?
a
Like that's
handsome
why they.
hobbit.
Yeah, that's what they hired. That's why the dwarves hire him, right? They hire him as a thief.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
like, I think it makes sense that he would steal from a shiny ring from like
Yeah.
a monster in a cave. Is that theft? You know what I mean?
I think it also Gollum was
Looting.
like more willing to give it up in the first version because the ring wasn't the one ring that we knew today that like, and like Gollum would never give it up for just losing a riddle. Be like, yeah, sure, you can have it. Which.
Well, Bilbo already had it. That's the thing. Bilbo had already stolen it, and that's why he
Yeah,
was
he
like,
turns
what's in
invisible
my
with it."
pocket? And then Gollum's like, my precious is. And he's like,
Sorry.
no, it's my hand that's in my pocket. Yeah.
I got it wrong. The first version, he gets it by winning the riddle by saying, "What's in my pocket? My hand," and then Gollum hands it
then
to
Gollum
him.
gives it to him.
In the rewritten version, he actually steals it. So he
Okay.
yeah.
Makes sense,
So Bilbo is trying to make himself look like a better guy by winning it in a riddle rather than stealing it from him. But Gollum would never give it up, especially by the time he wrote Lord of the Rings, because the One Ring.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. So after the ring gets destroyed, all the Fellowship sticks together for a little bit before they part ways. They go to Gondor to see Aragorn and Arwen get married. Aragorn become the king. Then they go all together to the funeral of King Theoden in Rohan.
Oh, that's true. That's a weird thing to leave out of the film. I just realized. I know like people are always just like, it's got 11 endings, but like they just leave him in Pelennor for the birds.
Well, we know you don't cry at funerals, but maybe they didn't want to end on a sad note.
I cried at that wedding, big time.
Yeah. And then once more, they finally go all together to the last place that the Fellowship would be together all in one place ever again, in Isengard. And that's when they decided that they're going to split up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why'd they go back to Isengard? Does Gandalf move in there?
Kind of central.
Yeah.
It's like right in the middle of Middle Earth, right? So it's like just south of like the Misty Mountains. So
Yeah.
Like if you're heading back to the Shire, that's halfway back for the hobbits, and then for the people that are gonna head back east, like
Exactly. They
That's
rode
true.
together just there. I think it's like someone might correct me on this, but I think Isengard is like slightly north of where they buried Theoden and Rohan. And some people are
yeah,
going to go
it's
north.
north
Well,
of
yeah,
Rohan. Yeah.
it is on the border. I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people are going to go north. Some people are going to go west. Some people even go south eventually. So, like Ethan said, just a good central spot. So, first, the hobbits and Gandalf. So, they want to go back
Orgy.
to the Shire. And there's actually a really cool part about the Shire that isn't in the movies that could be fleshed out a lot more. That we'll get.
Oh
to.
yes. Yeah.
Before they get back, they find out Saruman and his goons had taken over the Shire. So Saruman's not dead.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Gandalf didn't kill him. I don't know. Does he kill him in the movies? Someone's
No.
No. Wormtongue stabs him in the back, and then he falls off and like gets impaled on a spike or a water wheel.
I think that's an extra. I think that's a bonus scene too.
It's in the extended version. He
Yeah,
does
I
not
don't
die
think
on
he's
screen in the theatrical one. He
in the
just
first one, yeah.
vanishes from the story.
He vanishes. Yeah.
That's kind of
You never see.
faithful to the real story. So that's good that
Yeah, which
Wormtongue
is-
has a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gandalf's pretty confident in the Hobbit, so he gets like halfway to the Shire. They hear about this like from a distance. And Gandalf's like, you guys got it. You hobbits go back and take care of your home. I'm going to go hang out with Tom Bombadil in the forest for a couple years.
What the fuck, Gandalf?
Every time.
That's crazy, man.
Every time.
Nah, you don't understand. Me and my boy ran a train on his thick wife, dude. I gotta go. I gotta go.
We do have a Tom Bombadil episode, so go check that out. I'll try and remember and link it.
Jealous.
Yeah. That's so funny.
But Gandalf and Tom Bombadil having a chat for 2 years must have been a pretty cool conversation that we don't get to hear. It would probably be pretty cryptic from the side of Tom Bombadil based on all the quotes we've heard from him so far.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if I could listen to him do. I don't know if I could listen to anyone do Def Jam poetry for 2 years straight. You know what I mean?
I mean, Gandalf always has that story about being fucking dead, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah,
That's a
I'm
cool
listening
one.
to tell that story. Yeah, I got the
Yeah.
White Fire.
yeah. Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin learn that Frodo's own cousin was to blame for the sorry state of the Shire.
Oh.
There's someone named
They're
Lothar.
Cousin
Baggins.
Orc. I should have known.
Yeah.
Someone named Lotho Sackville Baggins.
Oh, the treacherous Sackville Bagginses.
Yeah, I never trusted Sackville.
Yeah. I believe it's the son of Bilbo's. So wait, Bilbo's father's brother? I think that's the lineage that gets to Lotho.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Frodo's Bilbo's nephew anyway, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah. The hobbits just love hanging around, eating 6 meals a day and fucking. So everyone's got a lot of
Sounds
cousins
awesome.
down there. Yeah. Tolkien actually wrote the hobbits to be an idealized version of how he would like to live. He loves gardening. He loves 6 meals a day. He would rather
Yeah.
stay up
Loves
late.
smoking that
fucking-
kush.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you mentioned the Kush, because Lotho Sackville Baggins ended up buying most of the land in the Shire from all the money he made selling pipeweed to Saruman.
What?
Yeah.
What?
All right. Wait, maybe Sauron's not such a bad guy, huh?
That's-
Maybe he's
okay.
fucking chill AF. I don't know.
So yeah, Lotho Sackville Baggins has all the dank plants, and he was selling to Saruman. So I guess Saruman and his baddies needed to relax after a long day of building stuff.
Fucking scouring of the Shire is just actually a bunch of Uruk-hai going to pick up like a key from Lotho Baggins.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
So Lotho starts buying up all the land and everyone's homes, as good rich pipe weed barons do.
Good. Yeah. All right.
Drug lords.
Mm-hmm. And he starts to call himself chief. So he
Okay. Don't know about. I'm not gonna touch that one. Go, just carry on.
He gets help from Saruman's goons. So there's ruffians, Dunlendings, and Goblinmen. I actually didn't look up Dunlendings. I'm not sure what those are. Let me look that up now.
Probably from the
Dunlendings are
Dunlands.
people, I think. They're
Yeah.
they're like the wild men, I think.
A
Something like that.
rustic, dark-haired race of men who inhabited the White Mountains areas that became Rohan. Okay.
Yeah. I only think I remember that because we did a full episode about Rohan, and like the horse lords drove them out of that land originally and forced them into the mountains. And then Saruman has them, like they're like the first raiding party in the film, at least, that he convinces to go out and start terrorizing the Rohanese.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets ruffians, Dunlendings, our friends from Rohan, and Goblinmen to enforce rules over the Shire. He's like, you can have a little 40 bag if you are able to keep all them hobbitses in line.
Welcome back to the Drug Lord and the Wizard. Drive at 5.
El Lotho's escaped from prison multiple times in Mexico.
Yeah, well, the prison was just it had no bars. It was just at the top of a really tall tower.
Yeah.
I had no anti-eagle measures, so you know.
Yep.
We should
Well-
go back to towers.
We should.
True.
Yeah.
Just
Well-
generally, not
well-
enough towers in architecture these days, right? No, Jamie, let Peter and I reminisce about towers a little bit more, okay?
I
We
feel
understand you live in a basement. You wouldn't get it, okay?
You can't tunnel out of a tower. El Chapo would still be up there, just like his Rapunzel hair growing down.
Rapunzel at the bottom of like a shaft. Like, I don't get it. My hair's not helping. Trying to throw her hair up.
Do you guys want to talk about towers more? Or? I can't. I want you to have
No.
fun.
Never
God,
forget.
would you just get on with the episode already? What the hell, man?
All right. We played a game yesterday called Once Upon a Time, where it's a card game where you have like a hand of cards that have a bunch of things. Like it might have dragon and tower and princess and
Queen.
and
yeah.
queen, and then Ethan will have his
Fire.
own hand of cards. And the idea is like when you're in control, you tell a story and you try and say as many of the things that you have in your hand as possible. So I'll say there was a tower that had a king, but Ethan will be like, "Oh, I have king," so now it's my turn, and then he'll interrupt and be able to start telling the story, which
That's
was
fun.
very fun. And we got to a place yesterday where there was a dragon.
We got there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
we got to all the inappropriate. It wasn't a good story, I'll say. You know,
No.
it wasn't maybe our best work,
Well,
but
The hard part is that everybody has their own ending, which is how they win at the end. So everyone wants to steer the direction like mine was, and he was very, very sorry that he disappointed everyone. So I'm trying to get someone to fuck up, but Ethan was like, and a queen held a contest that something.
yeah, it was like, and the queen gave them the prize that she had promised. Was like how my story has to end. So the last card you play is your ending card.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like it is a fun like push and pull of like you can interrupt the story by like somebody mentions something that you have the card for frog. Somebody mentions a frog and you're like, cool, I can play my card.
Yeah.
It is like difficult. I feel like it's a game that needs practice. Like we do a lot better off on the 10th go than the first go.
We had
In
fun,
terms of like
though.
actually telling a cohesive story. It was a blast. I was laughing until my sides hurt.
Yeah, like there was the whole table was just like cracking up. And at one point we had like a story where there was giants who lived in a forest and then they were going hungry. So because the little people were eating all their food. So the giants stole all the little people's clothes so they wouldn't come out of their huts and steal their. And then it became like a dick measuring contest between the giants and the little people. And the little people were going to lose or something. So they had to like get a trump card, which was a dragon who had the biggest swinging dick of all. But there was
Biggest cock in the land. Yeah.
But there's a secret. The dragon kept his dick not on his body, but hung up in a tower because it was so cumbersome. And then when he went to go get his own penis, and it was like Ethan said the imagery. It was like a dragon flying, and it's like a perfect T. That's how big the thing was. The dragon ended up restoring the food problem because its dick drug along the ground.
Irrigated the fields.
Irrigated the land.
Yeah. Anyway, talking so much about towers now, and it reminded me of our silly game yesterday. That was fun.
Well, so what we're trying to say, Mr. Colbert, is that we're available
Yeah.
if you need help
Yeah.
writing.
For the writer's room.
Yep. So yeah, Lotho starts to call himself chief. He's got help from Saruman's goons, the ruffians, Dunlendings, and Goblin, and he starts to turn this beautiful green, lush area into an industrialized, awful place.
The opposite of a dragon cock.
Yeah.
Oh.
I follow. Mhm.
So actually, Lotho he rises to power, but then Wormtongue comes in and sees the nice operation going on. He's deposed, imprisoned, and killed later by Wormtongue.
Really?
Frodo's cousin. Okay.
Okay, holy shit.
Yeah.
He gets is that like in the it must be in the book, right? Like that must be the source. So like he gets more he gets more screen time for his fate than Sauron in Peter Jackson's original cut of the Two Towers.
Yeah, I'm not sure exact. I didn't look up the primary source for it. I just used like some online research, as you should always do.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know that like Merry and Pippin end up writing like a volume that's like after Lord of the Rings that catalogs some of the history of the
Okay.
Shire in that area. So it could be from that, but some Lord of the Rings person or Tolkien person can tell me that in the chat.
Very funny that Tolkien ran out. He was like, "Yep, the big bad is destroyed. Good triumphs, and what's next? Narco terrorism and cartel wars. I think.
Yeah.
This is where the hobbits go next."
He wanted to write more into the Fourth Age, but he was like, it was depressing to him that after they finally beat all evil like so definitively, to immediately throw the world back into
Back
strife.
into evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I'm keen to see more. I'm keen to learn more, but I am also very much. We've talked about it before. Like there is morally gray fantasy, like Game of Thrones, and then there is very black and white fantasy, which I've always kind of treated Lord of the Rings as. And it's like there should just be it should just be good. Like people, we can have fiction that strives towards an actual good outcome rather than just reflects the shitty state that we all have to deal with.
Yeah.
You know. Like,
Yep.
let the hobbits be happy and fuck. Okay, like I
Yep.
don't care. And like if you're really gonna write a Fourth Age, put it somewhere else in the world. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Surely there's still some like vestigial evil like in Mordor. You know,
It's drugs.
some people have a tail. Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of the forces of Saruman and Sauron, like although Sauron's defeated, there's still a lot of bad guys like out and about that need to be
Exactly.
squashed. Yeah.
Because Sauron's defeated, but his dad isn't, right? So
Yeah. And like Sauron, whenever he gets defeated, he just gets turned to dust and then eventually he'll come back together and be bad
Exactly, yeah.
again. Like just like he did in the
Okay.
Second Age, yeah.
Well, now he's back as Lodo Keefe, basically. That's the dust he's
Yeah,
transformed
exactly.
into.
He's back. He's back at freebasing Lambus bread.
I hate when your roommate like empties the grinder and throws out Sauron. So yeah, after Wormtongue kills Lotho, the pace of destruction gets even faster. They're really renovating the Shire to just be a pipeweed factory, and none of the sensibilities of the hobbits are left behind. This will lead to the Battle of Bywater, led by Merry and Pippin, the last battle in the War of the Ring.
Oh, okay.
So this is actually where the Third Age is about to end. The Third Age ends 2 years after the ring's destroyed, because there's still some loose ends to tie up before the Fourth Age is ushered in. But before we get to that,
Okay, cool.
let's take ourselves a little break.
Can't tell you the last time I had a Black Forest cake.
Well, I'm missing out, bro.
My dad used to buy the cherry blossoms. I think they're out of business now. But it
Oh,
was like,
yes. Yeah.
maraschino
the
cherry
chocolate
in
hemorrhoids.
a brownie. Yeah, exactly.
Ew.
And now they're out of business. Okay.
Yeah, well, as soon as people got that image in their mind that they had a crisis team and everything, we're just like, no. Like, I had a podcast said we were chocolate hemorrhoids.
What was the name of them, Ethan? Because remember that yellow box,
Cherry blossoms, I think.
Cherry
right?
Blossom? It was... That box was really grotesque.
It does look like something that like a Victorian child would get once a year,
It's
right?
like, what the hell, man? Welcome back from the break. So where we left off, we have a dead cousin of Frodo. He sold weed so much that he got killed by his ops.
Right in these streets.
Yeah.
See, he didn't get the memo. Stay off the road. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he was out in
That
these
was actually
streets. Yeah.
the dealer corner.
Yep. So this led to the Battle of Bywater. So Merry and Pippin, they've been in and out of a bunch of big battles over the last few years. So they're fit to lead the fight to take back their homeland while Gandalf hangs out with Tom Bombadil and his thick wife.
Okay, yeah. Gandalf
And
must
they
be
got
so
that good
stoked.
Lotho Kush.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they've been smoking on that. They smoking on that Lotho loud, and now, and that's why they've been talking for 2.5 years. Is just because it was too the gas was too strong.
So the last battle of the War of the Ring, the casualties would be 19 hobbits, but 100 ruffians. The remaining...
Okay. I do love that there's just a generic goon term.
I was gonna ask if this is like a class of people, or if it's just general ne'er do wells that is like all that's left over in like
Yeah.
Brandywine or what
100 henchmen.
yeah, exactly.
Brandy Buck.
You can imagine them. So they
A lot
actually...
of guys with those scars, with the lines through them, a lot of eye patches going around, hook hands.
Yeah. You know, glass jaws because they go down with one punch.
Yep.
You know, so like the hero just like takes him by one arm and like flips him over, and then that guy is out of the fight forever. He's dead. You know.
Yep. So pretty good. Hobbits did take a few losses, but 5-1, they were killing ruffians, so that's pretty good. And the remaining orcs and ruffians end up retreating.
Embarrassing.
Yep.
Yeah. After the battle, Saruman reveals himself. And Frodo says, "Leave and never come back." Just like that.
Great impression.
And
Mr. Colbert, we're just saying we're available, all right? I've seen Jamie do the Gary Oldman thing where he puts his knees in his shoes and acts like a really little guy. So
Oh
just
yeah,
saying, just
what a
saying,
movie to shout
we're
out.
available.
so as Saruman, he's about to leave. He's like, "Fine, I will leave. But I'm taking my loud with me." And he says, "Wormtongue, follow me." And Frodo says, "Wormtongue, you don't have to follow him anymore. You know, like the war's over."
Wormtongue's still like Wormtonguing though. Like, what's his deal, right?
Yeah.
Because wasn't it Saruman or Sauron that was making him all crazy? I guess it must have been Saruman.
No, he was working for Saruman, and like he was like again in the films. Sorry, book people. Like he was like a magic vessel who like spoke Saruman's spells to Theoden. That made him old.
Yeah.
And took away all his loud weed.
Yeah. Gave him the pasty so bad he'd get that like crusty stuff in the corner of his lips.
Yeah, exactly.
Give the pasties so bad he became a withered old man.
That's how your mouth feels when you get bad pasties, though.
Yeah, man. Yeah, sometimes you hit the kush, sometimes the kush hits you. You know what I mean? You know, you're just an old ass man.
So Saruman says to Frodo, "Oh, you think he doesn't need to follow me? Wormtongue kills your cousin, Lotho. You think he's good enough to just walk on his own? He's a bad guy."
Hell yeah, I was just telling him to stay. Now I'm going to fucking pay him because he took out that Lotho rat.
Yeah.
Wormtongue's like, "Saruman made me do it. He made me do it." And the Saruman mocks him and kicks him to the ground.
Saruman made me do it. Saruman made me do it.
I wish that scene was in the movie. Shakespearean actor Christopher Lee.
It's like that
kicking Brad Dourif down the stairs.
It's like the animated movie whenever like Gandalf starts to walk away from Frodo and Sam, and he does a little like hand movement in front of Sam just to freak him out. It's such a nice little moment. So having reached his breaking point, Wormtongue finally won't put up with Saruman anymore, and he stands up, and as Saruman's walking away, Wormtongue comes from behind him and slits his throat.
Oh, he
Oh,
still
hell
does
yeah.
kill him. Interesting.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
what I was saying. Like, oh, it's cool in the extended movie that he gets killed by Wormtongue, because he does actually get killed by Wormtongue in the book.
That is how he dies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really
In the
cool.
face of a Merry and Pippin invasion too, right?
Yeah, which is embarrassing. It's interesting. One of my favorite behind the scenes clips from the Lord of the Rings, from the third one, is Christopher Lee talking about that scene, because Peter Jackson wanted him to get stabbed in the back and go like, oh, like scream in pain. But like Christopher Lee in the Second World War was like Christopher Lee Nazi hunter. And he's just like, no, Peter, that's not what a man sounds like when he is stabbed in the back. The breath leaves your body. And the behind the scenes is just like, yeah, he had some bunch of secret missions in Africa in World War II.
Oh.
Shit's crazy. And he just like told us what it actually sounds like when you stab a guy in the back.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'll show the clip for the patrons.
he gets killed. And when he dies, he dies in an eerie column of mist that raises from his corpse and blows away in the wind. It's like Sauron when he dies. So Saruman can come back eventually, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
he's also a demigod or an angel, right? Like,
Yeah, he's also a Maiar, right?
yeah.
So
Must be.
Pete, you said like, oh, by Merry and Pippin no less, right? Like as if like, oh, they couldn't lead a good war. I'll have you know, they're very respected in the Hobbit world, because after they came back, they were taller than when they left. Like hobbits get up to about
Whoa.
4 feet on the tall end, and since they drank some potion with the Ents, they're now 4'5".
Oh,
So
right.
they're big boys
Oh.
now.
okay.
Going off into the forest to do some bone smashing on my knee.
I was just about to say, yeah, they were looks maxing with the Ents.
So yeah, that
Sounds like Void mischief to me.
Going
That's-
off grid looks max, man.
We mog orcs. We're hobbits. We mog them.
So that's how we get the Shire back. So the hobbits would move back into the Shire, and they start to rebuild. Sam will be one of the people who plants the most, who gets his name changed to Samwise Gardener, because he's such a proficient gardener, to rebuild the Shire. Frodo, I know in the movies he sails off to the west. He does do that in the books, but not right away. He does go home and recapture his home first.
Okay.
Right.
And he moves back into Bilbo's house. But every year, on October 6th and March 13th, Frodo would fall deeply ill, because those coincided with 2 things in his life. Can you guys guess?
One where he got stabbed by the Nazgul blade.
Yeah.
Yes.
The other one
Getting his finger bit off.
When
where he
Shelob
destroyed the ring,
gets him.
or Shelob poisoned him.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So October 6th and March 13th, both are within the week of mine and my girlfriend's birthday. That's fun.
Has Frodo considered getting a sad lamp? I might do it.
What's
Lack
that?
of, it's one of those lamps you get in the winter that just blasts your face with UV light to trigger vitamin D production in your body.
Interesting.
That
Mhm.
my insane stepmom had one, so I'll forever think that's a crock of shit, just because I think she's a crock of shit. But not because that
True.
is a crock of shit. Yeah.
Stole all your tip money and bought a sad lamp for herself. That fucking bitch.
Yeah,
Straight
exactly.
up, man.
So Frodo can't fully heal in Middle Earth. So that canonically is the reason for him to go to the Undying Land. So in 3021, he sails west to the Grey Haven, from the Grey Havens to the Undying Lands, and Gandalf goes with him.
For how long is this? Because I know, like, friend of the show, Oren, who's a big Tolkien head as well, who's read all the books in the Silmarillion. I know, like, the entire plot of the film takes place over the course of, like, an entire year. Like, when Gandalf goes to Gondor at the beginning of the movie, it's a montage, but that's also, like, something like that's, like, several years as far as I know, and all the post-credit scenes are, like, years apart as well. So how long was he chilling, like me, getting extremely ill twice a year? I wasn't stabbed by a huge spider. That sounds great.
I'm not sure exactly. I don't have the timeline here, but I know that he was there long enough to notice it at least 1 year.
Okay.
But it wouldn't have been too long, probably a few years. Because all the other folks are still around, and Samwise is going to inherit his house. So I think
Okay.
Sam and all his kids in that era of things, like it has to be within a 10-year window. So I'm not sure exactly. Yeah.
It says he was 53. I think it was a bigger than a 10-year window, right? I'm on the wiki. Pull it up, huh?
Yeah. Let us
Yeah.
know.
Oh, Mr. Wikipedia hat. Look at him go. Dress for the job you want.
I was
Mhm.
while Ethan's looking it up, I was looking up as well, like when folks die when they go to the Undying Land, that mortals can die, like pass away of their own free will. So when they've lived enough life, they can just be like, I'm good now. I'm gonna take the big
Okay.
nap. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've talked about on an episode. That's how Aragorn dies, right?
Yes.
I think he just says like, I'm good, did enough.
That's men's gift, is the ability to have their souls leave Middle Earth, whereas
Right.
elves, they die, but then they go to basically a judgment realm for X amount of time, and then are just sent back to Middle Earth in a new body.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh no, okay, he was 50. I thought he was 30 years old when he left the Shire, but he was 50 when he left on the quest for the ring, the quest
Okay.
of the ring. Sam was apparently 38. So Frodo kind of robbing the cradle, huh?
So what does that mean then? Did we get an answer to the question?
It's 3 years between
Three.
when he left on the quest and when he went to the Undying Lands.
Okay, so it wouldn't have been that long. He probably came home, he got sick once, and then that's it. Yeah.
Well, it's chronic when it happens twice. So the second time, and the Hobbit doctors were just like, "Have you tried smoking some of your cousin's weed?" And he's like, "Yeah, and it doesn't work." They're like, "Ah, I guess." There's always going to the Undying Lands. That's like
Yep.
their version of Maid in the Shire for their free healthcare. It's just like, yeah, we just send them to Elf Heaven, and they never come back.
So he goes there to live out the rest of his days. Samwise Gamgee, who gets changed his name to Samwise Gardner, he reflowers the Shire. He marries Rosie Cotton, and he becomes mayor multiple
course.
times.
Of South Lane.
Oh, cool.
By the way, like Merry and Pippin and Samwise all like have leadership roles within the Shire. Mary's going to become master.
Save the fucking world. Yeah, that's a landslide election. What, are you going to vote for a mayor who has like pothole concerns, or Sam Gamgee, for Christ's sake?
Yeah. Mary's going to become master of Buckland. Pippin's going to be Thane of the Shire. Samwise is mayor of the Shire. And all of these roles end up being able to decide who's allowed to come in and out of the Shire because of Aragorn. He says, now not like
shit,
no one can just...
wall.
Yeah, no one can just go in and
The
out.
fuck? Wait, immigrants bad is the point of the Lord of the Rings? Uh-oh.
Tolkien in the Fourth Era moves to Arizona and starts watching Fox News. It's like, what the fuck is going on? You got a weed farmer's like some sort of villain
Yeah.
put up walls.
So yeah, Sam, he has 13 kids. So I have their names here, and one of them really stuck out to me. So the first one is Eleanor, who will be in the Stephen Colbert movie most likely. Then one named Frodo, after his friend, of course.
Okay.
Rose,
After his lover, his friend.
Rose, I guess like a play on his mom's
After
name,
his wife.
Rosie. We
Mhm.
got Mary, Pippin, Goldilocks. My favorite one, Hamfast.
At that point, Sam was like, she's got to stop getting, like, just at the bar with Mary and Pippin, like, she keeps getting pregnant, man. I don't get it. I hit it once and she's pregnant again. It's like, I just can't deal with more kids.
Daisy, Primrose, Bilbo, Ruby, Robin, and Tolman, or Tom for short. And that's all 13.
Is Hamfast the one they have shackled up in like the root cellar? Like, and they throw just like bones and fish heads down like a dark flight of wooden stairs too.
Hamfast was apparently Sam's father's name.
Okay.
So he's naming him. It's the kid's grandfather.
Hamfast and Rosie. Oh, I mean, I'm named after both my grandfathers. There's a timeline out here where the lore boys are Ethan, Jamie, and Hamfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a local expert on potatoes and other roots.
Oh
according
fuck!
to
Hang on a second. I hit the nail on the head
TolkienGateway.net.
there.
I'm
I mean, I say according to TolkienGateway.net, that specifically has a citation. So this page is
Okay.
full of them, and yeah, you trust it.
yeah. I'm straight up just named after my lineage. My full name is James Robert John Miller. James is my name, Robert is my father's name, and John is both of my grandfather's names, and then Miller.
Okay,
And,
yeah. Cracker Maxing.
I could have been James Hamfast.
Handfast Hobson Miller.
My brother's name's Cameron, and Hamfast makes me think of camshaft, which I used to call.
Camshaft, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Next time you see Cam, you should just start calling him Ham,
Yeah.
like very quickly, like under your breath, like "Hey Ham," and just like see how long you can get away with it. See if he goes crazy.
The same aforementioned stepmother, I don't remember who called him that, but got mad at someone thinking that a camshaft was a sex act.
Yeah, she hated it.
But she's the freak for thinking camshaft is sexual and her stepson having a nickname and being like, that's perverse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. After
Just some demons.
a long life, Samwise actually outlives his wife, which is very sad. So he leaves all 13 kids behind and he sails west. He was technically a ring bearer very, very briefly, so he's allowed to make the journey.
Okay. Yeah. Take care of your sisters, Hamfast. I'm leaving.
So like I said, Merry and Pippin now. Merry becomes Master of Buckland, respected leader in the Shire. Pippin becomes Thane of the Shire. And both of them, eventually, when they do pass, get to be buried alongside Aragorn, which is a nice ending for
Oh,
them.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Gandalf, we already know where he went. And then for men, we have Aragorn, the crowned king Elisar of the Reunited Kingdom. So he reunites Gondor and Arnor, and he rules wisely for many years into the Fourth Age when he's 210 years old. And like we were saying earlier, he didn't wait to fade away. He willingly laid down his life after having a very serious conversation with his wife and elf Arwen, being like, mortality's a bitch. Now I'm going to die. And he lays down and he dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Collapses.
Please don't remarry.
As he says that.
Yeah. So man, like that's a gift from Iluvatar is men sold get to leave Middle Earth when they die. We don't know what that their heaven or their next journey is like, but it's not like elves who have to Groundhog Day Sauron coming back over and over again.
Up in the past, they get reincarnated as like a bug or something neat, like a forest sprite. In the present day, or do they just reset the day? So like Legolas's soul has to go through the War of the Ring.
No, well, that's just how Tolkien works. When Sauron dies, he comes back, and if an elf just keeps
And
coming
elves are
back,
immortal.
yeah, they're gonna see it over and over and over again, right?
Okay, okay.
Not a literal Groundhog Day, a
No.
figurative Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, literal Groundhog Day it's a movie.
Yes.
Good point.
So
Big
Aragorn
delivery on that.
is buried in Gondor, and Arwen actually dies of grief a year later. Elves can die in battle or of grief. That's the two ways.
Being
there's-
sad.
Yeah.
She needs some of her stepson's tip money and a sad lamp. I think she would have lasted another century or
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, elves can die. They go to the halls of Mandos, which is like a place of judgment, and they stay there however long Mandos, keeper of the halls of the dead, presumes is right. I'm not sure how long that is exactly.
Man, those nuts look good in your mouth, right? Anyone?
Oh, imagine being stuck in purgatory and he just keeps saying that stuff to you.
That's the definition.
Yeah.
I can't say I know what comes after death, but one thing I can promise is that if I'm given the option, I will elect to torment either of you in purgatory.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to do D's nuts jokes to Gabriel for centuries.
Whether it lands me less time in purgatory or more time in purgatory, that's what I'm going for. Okay.
Okay. Either or.
They eventually are re-embodied in Valinor. So when they wake up, they're back in Valinor and they have a new body.
Nice.
And one more human. So what happened to Boromir?
He died. He got
If you
arrow.
recall.
Bunch of arrows to his chest.
Yeah.
His body floats down the river Anduin over the falls of Raros and into the Great Sea. He never sees the Fourth Age, but he's he's honored as a hero of Gondor. Big salute.
Yeah.
He saves
Thanks for your
Merry and
service,
Pippin.
Boromir. Yeah, the future Thane of Hobbiton.
Mhm.
What's a Thane? Is like the ruler of the land? Is I guess just I don't know if he's actually like a goofy dork in the
It's like
book.
a jarl.
Yeah. And so me imagining just Billy Boyd, the actor who plays Pippin in the movie, as like the Lord of the Realm at this point, I'm just like, what kind of like wacky? I feel like Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, here's the thing, because like, you kind of said this before too with Merry and Pippin. Like, there's a lot more, I think, comic, and I again haven't read the books, but my understanding is there's a lot more comic relief in the movies than there are in the books.
Yes,
So
Gimli
I
is.
don't
I've
think
heard is a big one. Who's changed from like a
Exactly.
philosophical, like Jess of the Shire is a YouTube channel. She talks about it a lot.
Yeah,
Where
we've,
like
we've talked
he's
about
comic
it.
relief. Yeah.
We've talked about it on air before, where like Gimli is I think Jamie, in one of Jamie's episodes, like Gimli's the only person to ever convince Galadriel to give him like a piece of her hair or something,
Yeah,
which like
3
uses later because
strands.
he's such a smooth talker. Or 3 pieces of her hair,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he ends up
Whereas
keeping
like he's funny dwarf man in the books, funny
Yeah.
short guy with a
Af-
Scottish accent.
after the War of the Ring, he ends up keeping her promise and taking those 3 strands of hair and like keeping them in like a crystal vial and putting them somewhere for everyone to enjoy forever or something. I don't remember the
Mhm.
exact details on that, but I remember hearing about that when I was doing this research. But
A
Legolas,
Thane Peter. Sorry, a Thane Peter is a man given land, like given a title as a noble by a king rather than being hereditary. So you're granted a noble title. So Aragorn
Okay.
granted him the title and said,
Nice.
"You're king. You're ruler of the Shire."
Yeah. Hey, I've been gone for 10 months, and actually, we defeated all the evil. My best friend's a king and says I'm in charge now.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
My best friend works at Nintendo, and he says, "I'm king now."
yeah, they that's pretty much how it goes down. Aragorn gives them special privileges just to keep everything good. The Fourth Age is known as the Age of Man as well. A lot of the elves either go home or fade away. There's not too many left. It's mostly men in the Fourth Age.
Okay.
So one of the few elves that stuck around into the Fourth Age is Legolas, along with his friend Gimli. So from Isengard, they headed north together to go to. Legolas wanted to see some cool trees up in Mirkwood that he's never seen before, and Gimli wanted to go home, but also just got dragged along. He's like, at some point, he promised Legolas that they would go to Mirkwood together after everything was done. So Gimli's like, okay,
yeah.
I'll go.
fully hoping he would die. That's the black gates of Osgiliath, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll never have to go see that fucking stupid tree. I ain't worried.
God, just give me a dark cave with some wet rocks, and I'll finally be fucking happy after all this.
Yeah. So they head north together, and they found that there was still war going on up there. There was still some baddies. And rather than solve the issue, they just went back south.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's, you get a freebie or two. But once you do it's like getting coffees at the local place. You get 9 stamps, the 10th one's free.
Yep. Very true. Very true. So they go back south. Gimli ends up setting up shop in the glittering caves of Helm's Deep. And Legolas brings elves to Illithin to restore the land to its former glory. Both of them end up working together to rebuild Minas Tirith. So Legolas helps bring, I guess, I don't know what he would bring with the elves, wood or labor.
Lumber, yeah.
Yeah, and Gimli brings steel and mithril. And they rebuild Minas Tirith, bigger and badder than ever.
Hell yeah.
But Gimli gets old and frail. He gets to the ripe old age of 262.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
And he goes to the coast with Legolas. And Legolas and Gimli sail together to the Undying Lands, Gimli being the first dwarf and only dwarf ever to make the trip. And by the time they get there, Frodo has already decided to take the big nap. But that's where everyone ended up after Lord of the Rings. And hopefully the new content coming out, the 2 movies that are coming out, I also have more faith in Shadow of the Past than I do of the Gollum movie. There's been a lot of bad Gollum stuff that's come out. But there's also like an open world.
I mean, he's not interesting. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I'm sure like some like Disney Plus, the way they do with Star Wars, Amazon would put like a 6-part miniseries of Gollum like squatting in a cave and eating raw catfish,
Yeah.
right? And they'd somehow still make that like even more boring than you could have ever anticipated.
Yeah. I keep hearing
I
about
did.
a game that's coming too, Lord of the Rings. Like an open world game.
I'm sure.
Yeah. It looks cool.
I feel like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's 24 of them. I heard about this Stephen Colbert picture last week, and didn't hear that it was a sequel specifically. And then somebody had said that Gollum was in it, or the actor who played Gollum would be reprising his role. And now I'm wondering if they got the 2 movies mixed up in their head, where like he's reprising his role in the Golden pick, and 'cause I
Okay.
just don't see
Yeah.
how they like. I will say, if Golem is in Stephen Colbert's movie, instantly bad. It's irredeemable to me. He was burned up in lava. You know. I guess if they're doing flashbacks and stuff, it could work. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
One of the games that's in development is like meant to kind of like Hogwarts Legacy style. It's going to be an action game. I said open world, but it's more action oriented. I saw like teasers about it, and I could see how that would be good just because I like Lord of the Rings. But I'm also excited for the Expanse video game that has no release date, just because I like
That
the
does look really
Expanse.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
yeah, if it's like Hogwarts Legacy, man, and you're just like Frodo, Sam, Merry Pippin at Hogwarts, like learning spells, that sounds pretty dope, honestly.
Yeah, that could be cool. Anyways, that's been my episode. If you want to hear more Tolkien from some Tolkien amateurs, let me know. I always have fun looking into it, and I always learn a little bit more each time. If you want to see me play games, I've been playing on Tuesdays and Thursdays at Loreboy James on Twitch. My Thursday streams are going to be longer now because I joined a guild with a bunch of Newfies, people from Newfoundland, and we do WoW raids at 9:30 p.m. EST. So
Oh, cool.
I play whatever game I'm interested in, and then after that, I keep the stream on while I raid. It's not for everyone, but it's just more content, and you can hear how Newfies talk because it's hilarious.
Yeah, try and understand them, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's for me. Peter, what do you got?
At Loreboys Podcast on Instagram, and my comic is available, linked below on Amazon, printed to order. Thank you everybody who has continued to support it. I got more royalty checks, $8, so that's not bad. I'm ready to retire.
Whoa,
Yeah.
dude! You got to share some of that love, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, the next time I'm out there, I'll bring a stack. We'll just go band for band at the casino. It's
Hell yeah,
my
man.
$8 of comic royalties.
Penny slots, man. Yeah. No, thank you to everyone who's bought the comic.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
it's wonderful.
If you want to support the show, consider leaving us a rating and review on your podcast app of choice, or a comment down in the YouTube section, or if you're on our OnlyFans, and subscribe for the foot tier.
R.I.P. our CEO.
we do have a Patreon as well, patreon.com/theloreboys. There's a link in the description if you want to actually send us money. We don't have an OnlyFans yet. And if you don't trust Patreon, we do have a service which we've always offered, Loreboys Prime. This week, just like every other week, we are accepting petitions to start an OnlyFans. We do, however, need you guys to send your feet pics to Peter, right? We don't call him feet pics for nothing.
Yep.
True.
So he is still building a compendium, and we will be AI generating based off the sample data that you guys are sending us of your feet to generate the perfect feet to put on our OnlyFans.
They all have 4 toes.
Yeah. With those weirdly holding a can of beer, like.
Yeah.
I was thinking of like trying to reconstruct what one of our fans looks like based on their feet only, like I'm like a paleontologist from the 1890s.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just again like that fucking Belgian unicorn, but just like with somebody's real feet on it.
You're
There's like
you're blindfolded and you have to like figure out like there's like a box in front of you and you like put your hands through it and it's just like somebody's feet in there and you're like, what is
God.
this?
you
You're,
think
like,
there's
feeling
someone
all
in the
over it.
FBI like kind of police sketch style who could recreate a perp just from their feet? You know what I mean?
Just like
Yeah, probably.
the meme of like it's like the toddler's drawing of the front of a horse and then this
Yeah.
like beautiful pencil sketch of the back of a
Yes.
horse and it's this like stick figure with just like the most beautiful feet at the bottom.
Yeah.
On like
Well, it's
on,
like
on a
sticks like
police
hobbit
blotter.
feet for this
Yeah,
episode,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think that would constitute a lore
Lore
boys.
boys.
More boys.
Get those feet out.
Out. Dogs out.